If you've watched very many of my videos that feature this Kubota tractor, and you're the kind of person who pays a lot of attention to detail, you might have noticed that on all my implements I use this top link, except for when I plow snow. That's when I switch to this top link. I've got a very good reason for that. If you stay tuned, we're going to talk about that reason, as well as several other tips for how to plow snow with a grader blade. Hey folks, welcome back to Abundant Life Homestead. We got a little bit of snow again last night, not much, just a couple inches. And normally I wouldn't bother plowing a couple inches of snow, we just drive right over this. But I know that many comments on my videos come from first-time tractor owners, and even some of you with more seasoned seat time. This may be your first year that you've got enough snow to deal with. And for some of you, that amount of snow has already came. So let's talk about the basics while we've got a little bit of snow on the ground, and then you can apply them when there's a lot of snow on the ground. Now, unless you live in an area that consistently gets a lot of snow, there's a pretty good chance you don't own a dedicated snow blade. I live in one of those areas kind of right on the line. We'll get 2 feet of snow one year, and then the next 4 years we won't get any more than 2 inches in a year, and then the next year we'll get 3 feet. I don't own a snow blade. I want one for my farm all back there, but that's a whole different case. If you own a subcompact tractor though, chances are pretty good that you've got a grader blade. If you don't, you should probably go buy one. They're useful for a lot of things, including pushing snow, as long as you know your machine and you pay attention to what you're doing. Probably the biggest notable difference between a snow plow and a grader blade is that a snow plow is going to have some kind of mechanism to mitigate damage on impact. You hit a rock or a curb or a fence post or a solid chunk of ice, a lot of times a snow plow is going to have springs that allow it to tilt forward, take some of that impact, or if it's like my old Cub Cadet blade, it's going to trip forward, flip the blade, you got to get out and reset it by hand. The grader blade, however, is fixed. Anything you hit, your cutting edge is going to take the full impact. That impact is going to come into your 3-point hitch, possibly causing damage. And that's precisely why I use a different top link when I am pushing snow. This top link I get from local John Deere dealer, and it's quite expensive. This last one I bought was over $200. Who knows how much they cost now. This is about the toughest top link you can buy for this size of tractor, and I've damaged one of these before while plowing snow. So that's why I use this one. So this top link comes from Rural King. Not as expensive, but it's also not as strong. Even if you don't hit anything, you're causing wear and tear on your parts. I'd much rather sacrifice this cheaper top link than my good one. I'll save it for all my other implements. Alright, I went in to make grandma food. I come back out and the wind's changed, it's blowing right in my face. But we're talking about top links. The adjustment of this link plays a critical role in the difference between plowing snow and tearing stuff up. I think I'm going to clear just a little more snow here, and then I'm going to put the good link on because this one is already kind of buggered up. It doesn't adjust very well. I'll show you what I'm talking about. With a lot of your small tractor implements like your tiller, your plow, your cultivator, your box blade, your top link adjustment is used to level out the machine when it's engaged into the ground. With your grader blade, especially when you're plowing snow, you're not engaging into the ground and you don't have anything out here to level out. What the top link does for your grader blade is it adjusts the angle of the actual cutting edge. So you're either cutting into the ground like a knife blade, or you're dragging it over the ground, not making such a deep cut. And the way you adjust it is dependent on whether or not you're pushing snow or you're dragging snow. Now, I like to keep mine pretty much straight up and down. You'll notice with that other top link, it's pretty much perpendicular, and that's where I keep it. Starting to move a little bit because that thing's getting bent. I'll show you here. All right, I can show you here. So right now we're pretty close to the center of this top link. We're driving backwards, pushing snow. If I shorten this top link, as I move it in, the bottom of that blade pushes out. Now if I were to drop this and push, I'd be making a pretty good cut into the ground. We take it the other direction, lengthen it out, and that cutting edge starts to draw in. Now if I drop the blade and push, I'm still moving the snow, but I'm not taking a hard cut into the ground. Exact opposite happens when we turn the blade around. Now I'm driving forward, I'm pulling the snow towards me. I've got the top link near center at the moment. I start to shorten it, and it's the opposite of pushing. As I shorten it, I reduce the angle of that cutting edge. Now it's going to drag the snow without trying to cut in so hard. If I take it and lengthen it, now that edge is going to get much more aggressive with the ground. Now your particular tractor, your blade, your surface is all going to determine how you set your top link. But I'll tell you, this position right here is where you never want to be. Pulling snow with your top link extended. This is where the blade, the cutting edge, puts the most force on the ground of any other position. This is where you're going to cut in hard. This is where you're going to do the most damage. So when you're pulling snow, keep your blade perpendicular or slightly backwards so it's dragging your surface. You never want it cutting. Where did I put that thing? All right, one more consideration that may or may not be a big deal with your tractor. It is with these smaller tractors. is the traveling height of your blade dependent on your top link adjustment. Let's zoom in again. Okay, so here with my top link pulled all the way in and my 3-point raised all the way, I've got about 10 inches of clearance on this end. And with the top link all the way out, hitch all the way raised, I'm about 4.5, 5 inches there. Doesn't sound like a big deal until you're going over culverts, through ditches, and anything that's not level. You're going to start cutting your blade into the ground. And there's one more consideration with these small tractors, and it may be unique to the B7100 and the older Kubota B series just because they're the smallest subcompact capable tractors out there. But if you have your top link too long, you're not going to spin your blade around. Runs right into your arms. And if you try to lower it to get past your arms, your blade gets into the ground, and then you got to end up dragging it. And I'm not going to do that because that'll hurt my back. So keep that in mind when you're figuring out how you're going to plow, how you're going to set your blade. If you're going to spin that blade around, make sure your top link's a lot shorter. So yeah, I probably just spent way too long talking about the top link, but you know, that's okay. These are things that I've had to figure out over the years, and knowing that a lot of you are new at this, we can say I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. Keep these things in mind, and I may go ahead and make this into a series of setting this top link just being the first of many videos, or at least a few. So, appreciate you watching with me today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we got a comment section below. If you found the video interesting or useful, make sure you hit that like button. And if you find yourself coming back to my channel over and over, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when I post new videos. Until next time, keep on nourishing your dreams, cultivating your passions, embracing the beauty of God's creation. Thank you. Have a blessed day. We'll see you then. I'm going to change that out before I shut her down.